Okay, so we have all of my planners that I think I started the year with. Actually, no. I think I started the year with a B6 personal rings and A5 rings. Then I added my weeks, I think maybe in February. So that has been like my main system. So let's start with, I don't know. Okay, let's start with the B6. So I started the year in a B6. I think it went through April, maybe. Just as like memory keeping, notes, journaling, photos, like all of the things. And then when I started to like run out of space and knew that I needed another book, I wasn't sure if I was going to use another Stalogy, and if I did, what size I would end up using. So around that time, Sterling Ink was having a sale on all of their dated planners, so I bought two. I also wasn't sure which I was going to use for like continuing with sort of memory keeping, journaling, that whole thing. But I do love the standard size. I also absolutely adore this cover. This is the Moterm Standard Companion. I believe this is the caramel. I'm not sure because it was a gift. I got it from my daughter last year for Mother's Day. So I'm not sure which one she bought. I think this is the caramel. But in the end, I decided that I really do enjoy the B6 size for journaling and whatnot. So I set this up. So I'm not really using like any of the front kind of pages. I mean, I can go back and kind of add stuff if I want to. I haven't decided. I was keeping gratitude in my personal rings, and I decided to move it to this to this Sterling Ink because it had the monthly pages. So I just kind of went back and added what I had in my rings for the first part of the year. So I'm doing, and it's not technically like gratitude. Sometimes it's gratitude. Sometimes it's just like a good thing that happened that day. I guess I can take this off my wrist. But I like just writing like a quick kind of good thing about the day. So I think this is when I technically started in April. This is May, and then we're currently in June. Sometimes I don't always do it every day. Sometimes I go back and kind of fill in a couple of days, and I can usually pull things like out of my daily pages to add. If I don't have anything to add, I don't really like stress about it. I'll just leave it blank. It's fine. And then you get through the end of the year here. And then for the weeks, I started, initially I was using the weeks as more of a like, these are the things that I actually did kind of situation. Then I decided that was a little too, I don't know, it wasn't really necessary. So then I kind of shifted more into memory keeping in my weekly section. So this is the vertical. Oh, by the way, this is the compact vertical. So you get the vertical weeklies, and then you get blank pages in the back. I can't remember how many you get. 120 maybe? 121. And I like this much better. This is very similar to how I use my standard inserts last year for just kind of quick journaling, memory keeping, photos, that sort of stuff. And what I typically do is I will write things down and then go back and add stickers and photos, and you can see I have a little bit of catch up to do. This is the current week, and I haven't really like filled it out at all. I just have not really been feeling great. So I will go back and fill that in. And then for the daily pages, I'm not forcing myself to use them every day. If I have something to write about, or if I want to like if there's an event that happens during the week and I want to do like more photos about it or journal about whatever it was, I can do it in these pages. And that's been working pretty well. So this is the May section. I just kind of did a little, I don't know what you want to call it, dashboard page. Our wedding anniversary is in May. So then I just did some like listing out of things, writing about things. I was doing my tarot in here, like affirmations that I like. So that sort of thing. I did a summer bucket list. This was about my dad. He hit the 1 year anniversary of his passing was at the end of May. More tarot, so I'm really enjoying how this is turning out. And then this is June. I haven't used it as much in June. I did set this up. I do want to go back and put like a currently page. And I have some more photos and stuff that I do want to add. I just have not gotten around to it, so I think that's kind of where it ends in June. So I was a little bit worried about not having enough pages. The fact that I didn't start this until April is really helping. The fact that I'm not like forcing myself to do it every day if I'm not really feeling it is also helping. So this, I'm really happy in this, and I'm glad that I added it to the lineup. And the other thing that I kind of switched up, I was doing all of my health tracking in my personal rings, and while that worked, I knew that I needed a little bit more space than I wanted to take up in my rings. So I bought the standard horizontal. I believe this is also the compact from Sterling Ink. So I am using the trackers as trackers. I do have some like health goals that I'm going to do for each quarter. I have not done them for Q3 yet, but I appreciated having them for Q2. And then the monthly pages I am using as, I'm trying to think, I'm using it as a health tracker. So this I went through and kind of plotted out how I wanted to do it in pencil. And I think that was a really kind of unexpected benefit from buying the books later in the year, is that I did not need to use all of the months and the weeks. And so what I am doing in the monthly is tracking symptoms. So I have a key for most of the symptoms that kind of pop up more frequently during the month. So Headache, neck and shoulder pain, cramping, kind of gastro issues, bloating, swelling. I do often have like swelling in some of my joints. And then other is just for something that's like not typical, but you know, happens during the week. So I can mark it as other and then kind of mark down exactly what that is. I track my shots on every week when I get my allergy shots, and then tracking when I have actual allergy symptoms. And then down here, I am tracking when I take medicine that's not like the prescribed medicine that I take every day. So, if I am having headaches during the month, how many times a month are they bad enough that I need to take something for them? How many times a month am I using my inhaler? How many times a month are my allergies so bad that I am taking something outside of my allergy shots, which I really shouldn't need to do. And then I'm also tracking like my all of my like doctor's appointments and whatnot on the monthlies as well. So, and then since I didn't need all of the weeklies, I am using them as my mental health trackers, which I was also doing in my rings. So this is my mood tracker. Then I am tracking anxiety on a scale from 1 to 3, 3 being very high anxiety, 1 being virtually none. The same with depression, fatigue, and tracking my hours of sleep. So that worked pretty well in April. Then in May, I added a spot to track my energy, because even if I'm getting enough sleep, even if I'm not necessarily like tired, I may have just low energy that day. And so I was interested in trying to figure out like how that corresponds with my moods. So I did that for May. And then in June, I also did that for June, but I'm tracking my sleep a little bit different. I don't love how this looks because it looks really messy, but I do like the concept of it because I don't always get a full night of sleep. This month I am actually sleeping like more through the night than I have in previous months. But you know, there are often times during the night where I will go to sleep at 10 and wake up at 12, and then I'm up until like 4, and then I only get to sleep until 6. So I'm not sure how I will do it going forward, but I do like being able to kind of break up the sleep so I can see exactly, or have a better idea of exactly what my sleep cycles are. And then in the weekly, I'm trying to see one that's like doesn't have a whole lot of information on it. On my weekly, this is a horizontal weekly set up much like a Hobonichi weeks. So I divided this side into 3 sections. In the center, I am tracking what I am eating. I actually track or count the calories and like how much protein and carbs and fat and all of that on MyFitnessPal, but I do like to have like a visual log of what I'm eating. In this section, I track my workouts, and then in this section, I am just tracking stats from my Fitbit. So like how many movement minutes I have, how many steps I have, and how many calories I'm burning. And then these little numbers that are highlighted on the sides are my fasting blood sugar for that morning. And then on this page, which I cannot remember where I saw this, it might have been on Dandelion Diaries, or maybe it was an account from Instagram. I cannot remember. But anyway, they divide this page up into mind and body. And so every day they just jot or journal a little bit about like how they're feeling emotionally, what's going on in their head, and then how their body is feeling that day. So that is what I am doing. I have been pretty consistent. I think there was a week where like I was kind of sick. So yeah, it was this week where my eating was really like sporadic because I wasn't feeling well. I did not really work out that much. And so I didn't really like bother tracking my meals or anything. And then in the back, I just have like various notes, like this recipes, notes, things I want to learn more about in terms of my health. That's what I'm keeping in here. Questions I may have for my doctors. So this is really working for me. And then I just put like a little scratch pad back here, or scratch notebook in case I needed it. This is also really working for me. I'm really glad that I pulled this out of my rings, because when I'm going to my doctor, I can just grab this, tuck my insurance card, my driver's license or whatever, and take this with me, and it's everything that I need to really be able to advocate for myself in terms of my physical health, in terms of my mental health, how medicines may be affecting me, what we may need to start like figuring out, maybe like readjust, move on to something else. So this has been super helpful for me, and I'm glad that I did it. The next thing that I added was a Hobonichi Weeks, partially because I wanted something that I could throw in my bag, and the other part is I just kind of panic when I don't have a Hobonichi Weeks in my lineup. So yeah, I bought this, and I have not really been using it. I keep my monthly updated, but I haven't really been using the weeks at all, just because I'm really kind of functioning really well in my rings. So yeah, I stopped kind of using it at the beginning of June. I don't know what is going to, in an ideal world, I could have a Hobonichi Weeks with a monthly and then just some notes pages in the back, because I don't really need a weekly in here, or maybe a monthly and a weekly and no notes pages. I don't know. Something is too much. I can't figure out like what I want to do with it. So yeah, most of the time it just kind of stays in my bag with my cards, and I don't know. But I do like it. I do like the way that I have it set up. It's really cute. I love the little seahorses and whatnot. I just am not sure if I need it going forward for the rest of the year. The other thing that I don't really show like on camera a lot is my A5. I use this for like my writing stuff, and I'm starting to use it more for content, especially the closer that I get to publishing my book, and trying to map out like a marketing plan and a way to have a social media presence as an author. So I have this set up. Not really. I got these dividers from Amazon. I have like some notes pages in here, like checklists. In the front, various notes pages. And then I bought these monthly and weekly inserts from Amazon as well, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So you get the monthly calendar, and then it goes right into your weeks. And so I've been using that. Let's see, I can show like an older one. Really, it's sort of, I'm adjusting it as I need to. So I will usually put like my videos across the top, the days that I want them to come out, and then basically just use everything from this part down as free space. I track my analytics every week. I do plan out content on the monthly calendars as well. I don't think I have, so that's kind of that one was for April. And so it's been working for me. These inserts were really inexpensive. They're working. I don't have any strong opinion either way about them. I do like that they're tabbed, which is why I bought them. And then I am using I'm using a month on one page to plan out like my Instagram content. I am using the categorized lists. These are from SM Plans to kind of track the flow of my work. I have some daily pages in here in case I need them. I don't typically. And then I have my, there's like a section that I have these content plan sheets in, so I can kind of plan out what I want to do in like broad strokes. And then I will also use note pages and kind of make notes of things that I want to say, if I need to add links or any of that stuff. And then in the back, I have all of my goal planning stuff. So I was using these inserts that are kind of reminiscent of, I think, a happy planner. So I have everything kind of divided up, just like an overall list for the week, action steps, and then kind of a progress bar. So that's been working pretty well for me. And yeah, and then like this part back here is all like writing stuff. So brain dumping ideas. I have a projects section, like I'm currently plotting out my release, which is going to be at the end of July. The closer it gets, the more like anxious I get about it and like kind of want to puke, but that's neither here nor there. I have these cards that I made in Canva in the back, so in case of emergency, has my husband's contact info, if found has my info. This is a die cut from, I can't even remember the shop anymore. Fox and Pip, oh my gosh. But she did this as a fundraiser a long time ago in honor of Kate Spade, and I still have it, and Kate Spade is one of my absolute favorites. So I stuck that in there. I have a pen. So it's pretty functional. I mean, I do have some deco just because it makes it pretty, but I use it very functionally. So that is still working very well for me. And then, of course, my ride or die system is my personal rings with my Franklin Covey inserts. Still is working very well. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I did pop in these inserts that Beverly from Beverly's Plan sent me, or Beverly Plans sent me, and these are actual Franklin Covey compact inserts, and I have already decided if they have a version of this. I forget what this is called. I wrote it down, but her point of view. So if they have a version of this available for 2025, I'm going to go ahead and buy them. I like that they're lined. You get an index before the month starts, and then you get a like master task list on the back, and I really like that. I love the flexibility in my rings with being able to switch up my weeklies. I've been using a week on one page. I may have found another week on one page that I like to try out as well for the summer. I have my daily pages in here right now. I'm using a day on one page. During the school year, I use a day on 2 pages. I just am really satisfied in this right now, so I don't see that changing anytime soon. So this is, I'm really happy that like my mid-year planner stack is really everything that I had thought that I would be using at the beginning of the year. Whether or not I pulled, the only thing that I really added was my standard, because I had all of this information in my rings and I just wanted to have like a centralized place to have it so that I could take it with me to various doctors and whatnot. So I'm still tracking the same information. I'm just keeping it in a different place. But this really is my main system, and it's what I started out with at the beginning of the year. And I think one of the things that really helped me is the fact that starting kind of in July, August, September, I really kind of sit down and try to do an inventory of what I think I need in terms of planning for the next year, like the things that are kind of going to be on my plate and the best ways for me to manage those things. I also really try to keep in mind my personality and the way that I process information. So as much as I love a bound book, I cannot plan in a bound book because I get too kind of lost in the ideas of it all, instead of trying to break things down and think strategically, because that's not a skill that is very natural for me. It's really helpful for me to have a place where I force myself to be like really no nonsense and analytical, and even if I pulled out all of the deco and the kind of things that make my planner interesting for me to be in, I still would be able to get to the nuts and bolts of everything that needs to be done. And I like to have my memories in a bound book because I love flipping through them. And that's not really something that I can do in my rings. I don't know if I'm going to keep my inserts for the year. I believe I'm going to finish the year in personal size. It really is kind of my ring planner piece, and this is the first year that I haven't swapped sizes in rings. I think last year I kind of alternated between A5 and personal. I played with Pocket for a minute, but this is really kind of my jam. So this is the first year that I'm going to have a year's worth of inserts from the same size. So I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to archive them, if I'm going to throw them out. Right now I have them all archived, but we shall see. But yeah, I think kind of taking that mental inventory and kind of personal inventory really helps me narrow down and invest in systems that are going to work for me, because I also get a lot of anxiety when things aren't working about trying to like switch everything into a new system, and I really hate doing that. I also get really anxious about spending a bunch of money on something that doesn't that I use for like a month or whatever. That makes me very anxious as well. So I'm trying to cut down my anxiety too. So yeah, the only thing that's kind of up in the air is my weeks. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I keep my monthly updated, and I guess like if I need my weekly, I'll use it. If I don't, then I won't. But I do have something that I can kind of toss in a bag if I need to. So this is my mid-year kind of planner situation. Have you decided by now that like what you've been using isn't working? Have you shifted everything into like whole new systems? Have you started planning for 2025 yet? I haven't officially, although I have been making notes here and there. So we'll see. But I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to see more videos from me, please click the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.